So if that resonates with you at all and you're feeling just a little behind, then you are exactly who this video is for. So I just want to remind you to keep going. Just because you fail the first time, it's okay. If you think about it, we really fail at everything the very first time that we try it and we start learning. So it's just a natural part of the process, all right? It's just something that's normal. And what we're doing here is learning from our mistakes. We want to reevaluate our approaches to the market. Okay, so be sure to celebrate your progress. And the best way to do that is to journal it. Don't make your brain your file cabinet. Be sure to write it down. Keep a journal like the one that I have provided for you in Mindful Trading, or pick another journal. And so once you do that, you get a good handle on what you're doing and you're able to do better the next time. Okay, if you're still here, then you're resilient. And this builds confidence and helps you to persevere and makes you more likely to succeed. So keep going. After you fail, you're going to sail. It's part of the process. All right, so here we are on our EUR USD chart, and we can see that we are on the 1 hour time frame. And this week we did have a trend line break. Looks like it was a 4 hour trend line break, but it was also a trend line break on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour chart, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. So we can use our path tool. Remember, this is for practice, for entering into our journals. We see that price broke here, crossed over this trend line, retested the trend line here, and then continued downward, and looks like it stopped right around this area of support. And so this is also an area of support on our 4 hour time frame. And so if we take a look at the 4 hour, we can see that we had drawn a trend line here. There's a few touches down here. There's a touch here and a touch up here. Slide it down just a little bit. And we see that price has broken that trend line. We also placed an area of resistance up here, and we see that, it was resistance here and right around in here and here, and then price went up and came back down and broke through this little area of resistance here and retested our trend line. So we are ultimately in a bullish trend right now, but sometimes it's okay. Once a trend line is broken on 2 time frames, you have pretty good confirmation on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and we've broken an area of support. Those are all good confluences or confirmations that price is about to reverse. And so it did reverse and it went down to the next level of support. And so that would have been a good place to take an entry. So I missed this one, but maybe some of you all were able to catch it. That when price broke here and came back up here and touched and then went down. All right. And so that would have been around 8 a.m. So that was certainly a possibility if you were looking at the markets at that time at 8 a.m. on Friday. All right, and so we'll look to see what happens next week. Will this trend continue down, or will price continue to go down and perhaps break this level of support here? Or will it bounce here and continue to go back up? So we'll see what happens. But again, we're using the 1 hour time frame on EUR USD. And remember that we're looking for trend line breaks, or sometimes we're looking for areas of support and resistance, places where price breaks areas of support and resistance and retests. Okay, and so those are good ways to trade on the 1 hour time frame, or on any time frame really. And we often, once price does break and retest, we're looking for, in addition to breaking the trend line and retesting it, we're looking for a 3-bar reversal. And so our first confluence is the break and retest. That's the first confirmation that price is making a change that we're looking for. The second confirmation would be a 3-bar reversal. So here we have our first bar at 5 a.m., the second bar at 6 a.m., and the third bar at 7 a.m. And this third bar is larger than the second bar, and it's also a hammer with a long tail, which shows that price might be continuing downward. So we would have entered into the trade at 8 a.m. with our stops above these highs, above this level. With our stops above this zone of resistance. Okay. And so we could give I don't use this tool often, but just to show you where we would have taken it, we would have gotten in after this candle. And we know that since this is a bearish candle, price opened high, so it may have opened here. It opened here, kind of went up and came down, and it closes low. Okay, so that's why it's important to put your stops well above the zone. And so we notice there's a little doji here. That's a good place to place your stop. And then we would have just taken it down to the next area of support or resistance, so this next zone of resistance. And so that wouldn't have been bad. That would have been a 1 to 3. And you can see right here, this number 3 shows you what your ratio would be. All right. So we'll look for more trades like that this week and continue to mark up our charts. And we'll send out a newsletter on Sunday. I'll show you how I've marked up my charts, and you can compare your charts and your levels to what I have. It's a good idea to get ideas from others too as you're learning this great skill. You could also have taken a look at the 15-minute time frame. We know that things happen a little bit earlier as you go down in the time frame. So now we're on the 15-minute, and so this is the same area, and you would have been able to get into the trade a little bit sooner perhaps. So here's our break and our retest of the trend line. And you can see this could be the first candle, the second, and then here's the third engulfing candle. And so that would have worked as well. You would have been in the trade a little bit sooner. All right. So I hope this information is helpful. If you found any value, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. It helps it to grow and helps it to reach others. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter if you'd like to compare your levels to the levels that we have at Mindful Trading. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.